This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into On Your Friday. I'm Rebecca Smith.
That sounds good, doesn't
it?
It is finally
Great.
Friday. I'm Bill Bryant. Here we are on February 5th, and we're glad you're up and at it with us early this morning.
Now at 6 a.m., a man is fighting for his life this morning after a crash that led to a gas leak in Lexington.
The Democratic presidential candidates trade jabs in their first one-on-one debate. I'm Weijia Jiang in Manchester, New Hampshire with the latest coming up.
And the city of Lexington wants to see a lot of red today. It's a way to honor Lexington firefighters.
We're in the 20s this morning. Very cold start to the day. Also, those frosty windshields. You have to take care of that. 42 by the afternoon with sunny skies. Beautiful day today. Great weekend. But next week it gets very active with almost every single day in my forecast with snow. I'll have that coming up.
All right, that gets our attention, and let's get to the news.
Well, nearly a week later, investigators still are trying to figure out the cause of one of the worst fires in Lexington's history.
The Bluegrass Stockyards and a few nearby businesses were destroyed by Saturday's massive and historic blaze. Today, the city is paying tribute to the firefighters who spent days on the scene. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live now to explain how you can join in that. Michelle, good morning.
Last Saturday, 120 of Lexington firefighters fought what interim fire chief called the biggest fire in Lexington history in more than 30 years. So today, Mayor Jim Gray is asking you to wear red. Not blue, red. Red in honor of those firefighters. Mayor Gray has called today Firefighter Appreciation Day. Mayor Gray says last Saturday's fire at the stockyards was a reminder of the importance of our first responders. He says despite the size of the fire and the strength of the winds, the firefighters risked their lives to get control of the flames. So he's asking that you support these men and women today by wearing red. Leak Eliminators is showing their support. Although the owners lost their office in the fire, they will host a pizza lunch for the Lexington Fire Department from noon to 2 today. We still don't know the cause of the fire, and the Lexington Fire Department Fire Investigation Bureau is asking for your help. They ask that if you have any pictures or videos of this area before the fire began, to please email them at arsontips@lexingtonky.gov. And remember to pay tribute to our local firefighters today by wearing red. You can even stop by a fire department and just say thank you to the men and women who help our city. Also, if you're on Twitter, you can tweet your messages of kindness at LexLevFire. That's hashtag LoveLexFire. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Very important thing to do. And, you know, this Appreciation Day comes at a very tough time, it turns out, for Lexington firefighters.
This morning, they were rallying around one of their own who is now in the fight of his life. Firefighter Matt Logsdon is a 10-year veteran of the Lexington Fire Department. Earlier this week, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in his liver, lungs, and bones. He will soon head to Chicago for treatment. Friends have started a GoFundMe page for his family. We have a link to that on WKYT.com.
We wish him the best, certainly. 6:03 is our time this morning, and we have some new details this morning about a serious crash in Lexington. It happened late last night on Tates Creek Road near Alumni Drive. Police say a driver tried to pass another car when he lost control and crashed into a gas line at Cottage Grove Drive. It's near Alumni. He was quickly rushed over to the hospital with critical injuries. That crash, though, caused a small gas leak. Columbia Gas was on scene for hours overnight making repairs. Tates Creek Road reopened about 4:30 this morning.
A stretch of I-64 is back open this morning after a deadly crash. This happened last night in the westbound lanes near Shelbyville. The victim's name has not yet been released. Candidates running for president are embarking on a weekend push to win over voters ahead of Tuesday's New Hampshire primary.
Don't have much time. Last night, Democrats Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders faced off in their first one-on-one debate. Weijia Jiang has the latest from Manchester, New Hampshire.
The gloves came off last night as Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders faced each other one-on-one for the first time in a debate, sparring over progressive values.
If we're going to get into labels, I don't think it was particularly progressive to vote against the Brady bill 5 times. I don't think it was progressive to vote to give gun makers and sellers immunity.
And campaign finance reform.
In my view, it is undermining American democracy, and it is allowing Congress to represent wealthy campaign contributors.
Clinton is trailing the Vermont senator in New Hampshire. At a post-debate rally in Durham, the former Secretary of State said she won't give up.
We're going to work as hard as we can between now and Tuesday.
Republican presidential contenders also have their sights set on a win here in the Granite State, which holds the first in the nation primary this Tuesday. Political experts say a win in New Hampshire is not indicative of how the rest of the country will vote, but it is important.
It serves as a signal to party officials about sort of their first sense of what voters are going to do, sends a signal to potential donors about whether their money is being well invested or not.
After a stronger than expected third-place finish in Iowa, Marco Rubio is now on Donald Trump's heels in New Hampshire, putting the Florida senator ahead of Ted Cruz. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
And Trump will be taking center stage tomorrow night with 7 of the 9 remaining GOP contenders. They'll be facing off in their 8th debate in Manchester. Trump says he has moved on from his second-place finish in Iowa after he had accused Cruz of fraud.
A Lexington man says he's furious after his dog was repossessed. Eric Marr says his adopted greyhound named Eli got loose. He says a woman found the dog and took it to Lexington's Greyhound Pets of America chapter. Marr went to pick the dog up, but the chapter refused to give him back. They say Marr violated his adoption contract by letting Eli get loose twice before. Marr says it's the first time he's heard the accusations.
They've kept Eli from me on the grounds of I'm not taking care of him. They have no basis for it, and I made a mistake. He got outside yesterday. Like, I don't feel like I'm the devil just because he got out yesterday.
Animal Control says that the chapter does have the right to keep the dog because there is a contract, and in situations like this one, it actually becomes a civil matter and would likely have to be settled out of court.
Well, we now know when Lexington's new Cabela's store is going to be opening up. The company says the outdoor recreation store will open on March 16th. It will be kicking off a weekend-long celebration then. Cabela's is near the intersection of Man-O-War and Polo Club Boulevards next to Costco. This will be the chain's 3rd store in Kentucky. There are others in Louisville and Bowling Green.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
All zones are very chilly this morning. We are in the teens and 20s. A couple spots to really look out for. 19 Frankfort, 17 Monticello. Those take the cake this morning. But you know what, Lexington, we may finish off, I believe we will. We may finish off right there around 18, 19 degrees when it's all said and done. But everybody very cold this morning. Frosty start too. We go throughout the afternoon. And look, you're going to have a lot of sunshine. At 7:40, the sun rises. Once that sun rises, you're going to see beautiful skies all day long. Maybe a couple clouds here and there, but for the most part, mostly sunny skies at 42. 42 under sunshine is way better than 42 under cloud cover. So we're going to be just fine later on this afternoon. Evening time looks good for dinner. Off toward tomorrow morning, 27 degrees to kick off your Saturday. So great looking start to your weekend and a good looking weekend too. Both Saturday and Sunday are going to be dry, and also looking for those temperatures mid to upper 40s. Good looking Saturday and Sunday. You got to love that. Then Monday, here comes some winter. It's fighting back. This is not so fast, my friend. You're going to bring in some snow showers. Not only snow showers, but some Arctic cold temperatures too. So when the snow falls, then you're talking about those chilly conditions just kind of holding it there on the ground for quite some time. And we have a forecast for you in my 7-day. Almost every single day in my 7-day forecast next week has a snow chance in it. Not a lot of snow, but just continuous snow, okay? So it's going to be light snow, but let's watch this. Let's go through Sunday night into Monday. There's Sunday afternoon, mid to upper 40s. Watch as we go throughout the night and into Monday morning. Actually showing up is a bit of a mix. So we could see some rain with this, we could see some sleet with this, and also some snow showers showing up. So that's something to watch out for. See what those temperatures do. This is the first time this actual model has picked up a bit of a mix. We'll see if that continues as we track throughout the next couple of days. But that's really the thing we're going to be watching out for, Rebecca, is that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday of next week time frame that we're going to be seeing some snow showers in the forecast. Like I said, it's continuous each and every day. It's very spotty, but it's just not a lot. It's not a huge snowstorm moving in. It's nothing like that.
Hopefully it'll be manageable for the streets and roads and all that.
Absolutely.
All right. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening out on the roads right now.
Good morning. Well, no wrecks, so we get to start off collision-free. Just check the circle in the interstate and good to go there. Inbound Leestown past the circle, in fact, looks pretty good. Just one click of the light through that intersection. Get a quick look outside. We'll show you overall traffic flow this morning, what to expect as you prepare to head out the door on this cold one. 75 still looks okay, and so does Nicholasville Road coming in from Jessamine County past the county line up to Man o' War. Drive times, nothing to impact them just yet, so we're good to go. From Nicholasville's about 13 minutes. From Paris, we'll take 18, and from Richmond, you're looking at 31 minutes across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Don, thank you so much. And I'm sure Don and Deanne are giving each other a little trouble over there on 98.1 The Bull this morning.
Good kind of trouble, though,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. When you get in your car this morning, you can tune them in. It is 6:10, and we have a lot more coming up on WKYT this morning.
The BMX biking world mourning the loss of a legend this morning. How police say veteran X Games biker Dave Mira died in 3 minutes.
Lexington city leaders are lowering the speed limit on more than a dozen downtown streets this spring. Coming up at 6, we'll explain why they want drivers to slow down.
Welcome back. It is 6:14 this morning. The streets of downtown Lexington could be a little bit more slow going for some people driving around because they want to make it more pedestrian friendly.
Yeah, those who are walking around down there will see the change for sure. The city has agreed to reduce the speed limit on more than a dozen streets. And WKYT's Mark Barber is live this morning to explain what this will mean for drivers. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. To understand why the Urban County Council is reducing the speed limit downtown, you actually have to go back to 2014, which is when a number of pedestrians were hit by cars downtown. Now, according to our partners at the Herald Leader, the city says that those accidents spurred the council to vote unanimously last night to lower the speed limit to 25 miles per hour. They want to make downtown more pedestrian friendly, so they will knock 10 miles off the current 35 mile per hour speed limit this spring. Now, it is important to note that the busiest downtown streets, like Main, Vine, and Broadway, they are not changing because they are run by the state. However, the changes could still affect your morning commute because more than a dozen other streets are dropping the speed limit, including Limestone, Upper Virginia, as well as 2nd, 3rd, and 4th streets. Now, we have learned from the Herald Leader this morning that nearly 160 street signs will need to be changed before the speed limit can be reduced. So how much will that cost the city? We'll have those figures for you coming up on the next half hour of WKYT News. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
A UN panel says WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange should be freed and should be entitled to compensation. Assange has been taking refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for more than 3 years. He's fighting Swedish prosecutors' attempts to question him about rape allegations. The UN panel says Assange has been a victim of arbitrary detention.
Veteran X Games biker Dave Mira has died in Greenville, North Carolina. Police say Mira's body was found yesterday with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Mira was an accomplished BMX rider and one of the most decorated athletes in X Games history. He was 41 years old. Maurice White, the leader of the band Earth, Wind and Fire, died this week in his sleep. White's brother, the group's bassist, made the announcement on Facebook. Among the group's more famous tracks, of course, September, we all remember that one, Shining Star, and Sing a Song. Maurice White was 74 years old.
Well, the state of Florida is ramping up efforts to combat the Zika virus. Governor Rick Scott has declared a health emergency in 5 counties and is asking the CDC to rush test kits to the region. At least 12 cases of the mosquito-borne virus have been detected in the Sunshine State. Zika has been linked to a rare birth defect in babies. And preparations are underway in the Bay Area for Super Bowl 50. San Francisco hosts the big game this Sunday when the Carolina Panthers take on the Denver Broncos. Coldplay will perform at halftime along with Beyonce and another mystery guest. You can catch all the action right here on WKYT.
Our time is 6:17 on WKYT this morning. You'll be glad to know the IRS is back in business. The agency says it resumed processing tax returns last night after a computer issue caused a system outage on Wednesday. The IRS says taxpayers should see little, if any, impact on their tax returns or refunds. United Airlines is giving pregnant employees the option of withdrawing from assignments that take them to countries affected by Zika. The virus, carried by mosquitoes, mosquitoes is suspected of causing brain deformities in babies. Delta Airlines has been making the same offer to flight attendants and pilots for more than 2 weeks. The World Health Organization says as many as 4 million people could be infected with Zika in the next year. Well, Super Bowl weekend means big business and big bucks for the league, as well as for the teams, the ticket sellers, and just about anyone else associated with the game. Forbes magazine is reporting that Super Bowl 50 will generate $620 million in overall revenue. That's a record for a one-day sporting event. And the fastest growing sector for the NFL, women's merchandise. 43% of NFL fans are female. It's a growing valuable demographic for the league. They're not just watching games, but also buying jerseys and other merchandise. Last year, 54 million women watched the Super Bowl. There you go, Rebecca. And you said you really enjoyed for the commercials. You were acknowledging that
I'll
this
be
morning,
honest,
right?
yeah. I mean, I can get into, you know, the sports side of it, but I mean, it's really all about the commercials for me. Hopefully they're good this year and not depressing like last year. WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Has a mysterious illness in one Kentucky community been solved? What health officials in Estill County are saying this morning at 6:30.
Pretty cold outside this morning. A beautiful, beautiful day in store, though. A lot of sunshine now throughout your weekend. Well, not now, here in the next couple of hours. Then we hit the snow next week. I'm going to have all that in your forecast coming up.
Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It is 6:22 and it is your Friday.
Yeah, well, a man is fighting for his life after a late night crash in Lexington.
And that's what's trending at this hour. It happened when police say a driver tried to pass another car on Tates Creek Road. The driver crashed into a gas line near Alumni Drive, and that caused a gas leak. They worked on that throughout the night. He has been rushed to the hospital with critical injuries.
Lexington Mayor Jim Gray asking that you wear red today to show support for the Lexington Fire Department. More than 100 firefighters were called out to Saturday's historic fire at Bluegrass Stockyards. Investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what caused the fire.
This morning, Lexington firefighters are rallying around one of their own. Matt Logsdon, a 10-year veteran of the department, has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in his liver, lungs, and bones. A GoFundMe page for his family has raised more than $11,000 in less than a day. It's 6:23. Quick check of the forecast as we head into the weekend with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, there's almost like a barrier around us, trying to keep all the clouds out of the way. And look, we're going to be saying clear skies this morning. Not only that, but later on this afternoon, too. Beautiful conditions today. You got to love that. When you have clear skies, that allows it to really cool off. You could have some frost there on the windshields as you take off this morning. You're going to have to scrape that. Keep that in mind as you walk outside. But good conditions there on the roadways. Have not heard of any issues whatsoever. We're 20 degrees now in Lexington, 19 in Frankfort, 17 there in Monticello. As you're walking out the door, anywhere you look, really, teens and 20s. It's pretty chilly as you head down the Mountain Parkway and 75. So we start off in the 20s and teens, and we finish off right around 42 degrees. Very normal temperatures there in the forecast with mostly sunny skies. Pretty good looking day in store, guys, and we're going to be seeing those temperatures jump in towards your weekend too. Mid-40s expected and a good looking weekend in store. That's kind of our focus of the forecast, how nice the weekend is, but it's after that we have some issues. As snow does return to the forecast. I'll talk all about that coming up.
Issues.
Oh, that sounds fun, doesn't it?
Snow, I think we're talking about, and colder weather for next week ahead. All right, that forecast coming up in a bit. 6:24 is the time.
Well, a California TV news crew recovering after becoming the story.
A tree fell on photographer Mike Gold and reporter Marie Cornell as they were reporting on storm damage this week. They work for a San Diego affiliate. Mike suffered a broken leg. He was pinned, but he managed to call 911. Cornell was more seriously hurt, had to go and have surgery as well. She is expected to recover. Certainly the hazards of this kind of work.
Yeah, anything can happen in television. You won't see footballs like these on the field anytime soon.
These fashion footballs were dreamed up by the Council of Fashion Designers of America. It is all part of the Super Bowl's 50th anniversary. Designers produced their own bizarre, glitzy, and glamorous takes on the brown leather ball. Each piece is being auctioned online, and the proceeds will go to the NFL Foundation. That is a charity that serves various causes.
think we're going to like this next video.
All right.
Even animals like to take advantage of a good snowfall.
Right, so check out this cute critter up at the Minnesota Zoo. An otter entertained himself by sledding down the small mounds of snow in his enclosure there. It must have been a lot of fun because he just repeated it over and over several times. The zoo says a lot of their animals. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
It does look like fun. A lot of the animals there,
loving it.
they're enjoying that fresh powder that's out there. Yeah, he has a good time.
Otters are so cute, are they not? That's
really
one of my
are.
favorite things to see at the zoo.
And see, he didn't
And
even,
that proves it.
He didn't even need a sleigh. He could just
Needs a good time entertaining himself. There you go.
That is fun. All right. Hope you have such a fun day ahead on your Friday. It is 6:26 here on WKYT this morning.
When we return, honoring the late state Senator Georgia Davis Powers, how the pioneering woman's being remembered at 6:30.
Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $71 million. Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $136 million. Stay with us. Our top stories ahead on WKYT.